want to turn on or off the string lights, there are 4 places that you need to do it. This is place number 1. We're here in the drink storage room. This is panels and breaker boxes. We refer to the big ones as panels, which you should never, ever, 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 ever touch unless directed to do so. And we call these breakers, which you can touch. So in the breakers, most of them are labeled. So most of the breakers will be labeled for you. This first one is labeled string lights. This controls the string light that's right out here and runs from the cardboard area up the hillside. So that entire string of lights is controlled by this one little box. When you open it up, you'll see a yellow dial, which is actually like a clock. So when it hits these, they turn on and then off. We have it set like this so that they'll turn on around 6 p.m. If we're closing early like we are today, you'll need to turn them off. When you turn them off, you just simply push this to the left where it says off. Push it straight down, and when it's in the straight position, the lights will turn off. When it's in the right position, the lights will turn on. Now, there are times where if they are about to turn on through the timer, it's really difficult to push the switch when they're about to be switched by the manual switch. So if you're instructed to turn it on before it hits this little switches here, grab the yellow part and pull straight back. You'll feel it loosen. Twist it a little to the left so that it's past those, and then flip them on. And that's how you know that they're on. This breaker box over here controls the lights that are over the entry sign. You'll never really have to turn them on or off because the timing is set accurately, but it's the same concept. You flip it to the left to turn it off, flip it to the right to turn it on. So again, these are for the lights that go up the hill. Now let's go do the ones that go to the men's bathroom. Okay, so this is what we call the old side storage room. In the old side storage room, you'll find the breaker that controls the lights that go down to the men's storage room. They're currently off, and the plug for them is right there. So if they ever are not turning on with the breaker, make sure the plug's plugged in. Anyways, this old side storage room contains more breakers and more panels. Again, don't touch the panel unless you're directed to do so. The breakers we have over here, this one controls the Coke machines. You'll never need to touch it. This one controls the yard lights. The yard lights are the actual light posts that are over the tables in the garden area. Underneath the yard lights, you find the elusive deer alarm. Do not touch it ever. It is triggered when a deer crosses our invisible boundary line that deers are not allowed to be in. And it makes a really loud, scary noise. And as funny as you might think it is, you should never touch it during any time, unless a manager tells you to. This is the one we're looking at. It's labeled Cafe Lights to Men's Restroom. This means the lights run from the post we just looked at all the way down to the men's room. Same exact concept. As you can see, they're about to cross over and turn on, but I want to turn them on a little earlier, so I'm going to pull this straight back, loosen it, twist it to the right so it's past the the automatic on switch. I'm going to manually flip them on, and now those lights are on. Let's go check out the penny. Okay, so the penny machine string lights are controlled way up here on the post. There is probably no one that's tall enough to reach those, so either use your radio or your level. All you need to do, open the little box, and you can see it's the exact same yellow breakers that we've been seeing. And I'm just going to hit the switch to the right, and there they go. One last breaker to check. Okay, so now we're behind the ticket shack, and we have one more panel and one more breaker box here. This panel is extremely important to never ever touch because not only does it control mystery spot things, it also controls things for the apartments that are currently occupied by Michael and Daniel. So if you start messing with this, you'll mess with their house and they'll really, really dislike it. So don't touch this as much as you want to. Underneath is what matters. So this is another breaker box, identical to the one below. You might have to identical to that one. It only opens a little bit, so the only way to kind of reach under like that, and I'm going to turn them on, and they're on.